Railway Industry Association is a trade association for railway businesses, we call railway suppliers, and that includes the biggest and smallest businesses in the land, but also 60% of our membership are SMEs, and they're involved in the full gamut of railway disciplines, and that's whether that's infrastructure, whether that's rolling stock, signalling, consultancies, whole range of businesses, over 320 members, and we've been going for 147 years. Well, we have several priorities. The biggest priority right now, as with many other people in the Trade Association Forum, is building back better post-coronavirus. Clearly, that had an effect on lots of industries. But we have a kind of a role at the moment, particularly in rail, on promoting a positive outlook for rail. We face an interesting year this year with, potential industrial action, with cost of living crisis and inflation, the effect that has on railway projects. There's quite a difficult, challenging environment out there. So our role is to promote the positive side for our members. Passenger numbers are coming back on rail. So the latest figures in May showed that we're up to 80 and sometimes 90% of pre-COVID levels. And our members are quite confident in surveys that we do that rail will grow in the years ahead. One study by UNIFE, the European Trade Association, shows rail is going to grow by between 1 and 2.3% every year to 2025. So promoting that positive outlook is crucial. Another issue that we're dealing with at the moment is the Great British Railways restructure. You may have heard of that. It's going to fundamentally change the way that rail bodies interact with each other. That will affect passengers and freight, and hopefully in a positive way. So we engage on that and to try and make sure there's no hiatus in work for our members. And finally, we have quite a strong role at the moment in trying to make sure that major projects are going ahead. So a lot of people know about the Elizabeth line, and that was a fantastic piece of transport infrastructure. But of course, we want to make sure that schemes like HS2, Northern Powerhouse Rail, Crossrail 2, other schemes that may not be in the offing right now, go ahead in the future too. So there's a lot of lobbying to be done to keep that in the pipeline. I think TAF helps trade associations like RIA in quite a few ways. And I personally been a member of TAF for a long time in various trade association roles, even before this one, when I was at the Airport Operators Association as well. I think the main thing it does, it helps trade associations share best practice. So whether that's via the best practice exchange or tutorials or webinars, it brings people together to learn from each other, to learn the best things that other trade associations are doing, but also learn the challenges they're going through and adapt their own behaviour based on best practice elsewhere. I think the awards event and the awards ceremony are well valued. It gives recognition to trade associations that are doing a great job, but it's also a great networking opportunity for people to talk to each other. So I think that's a good thing that Trade Association Forum does. And also I think it's a good forum to benchmark how you're doing as a trade association against other associations and other sectors. So that bringing people together, it really is a forum that enables to see how you're doing in comparison to others and hopefully step up to the plate if you feel you're short in any way. So I personally have always found it a great body to be part of. I think that Gaynor Pates, the chair, and Emily Wallace, the interim chief executive, are doing a great job there, and long may it continue. So we promote it within RIA, but also across the sector as well. And it's about equality, diversity, and inclusion. And it's great that we won that award from Trade Association Forum recently. We're very proud of that. What we've been doing is working with another organisation called Women in Rail on producing what we call the EDI Charter. And this is promoted across the industry. There's almost 200 signatures. So it's over 119. It's edging up towards 200 signatures. And that includes some of the biggest companies in the country. And it's about promoting a positive, inclusive agenda across the piece. So every signatory should have an EDI champion within it. There's an action plan on what they're going to do for the next 12 months. It involves training and education and also reporting back on progress over that year. And the main thing we find about it is it's really important to bring people with you. So it's an exclusively positive campaign. There's nothing negative about it. Whatever you as a signatory of the EDI Charter can do that's positive and helps you, your team, and helps push this agenda, we will support and we will publicise. And so far it's been very, very successful. Yeah, I was very proud to win that, and it's a great ceremony, the actual award ceremony itself. So very positive to win that award, and I was very proud of that. I think three things that I really focus on, that the team here really focuses on. One is a really strong focus on the members. I know that during the pandemic it was tough for many people, but we worked very hard to make sure members felt we were putting them first, and that's lots of communication, lots of tailoring services to individual member needs. And we actually managed to increase our size, both in terms of numbers and revenue during the pandemic. So I'm very positive about that. But a real focus on member needs was part of that. Focusing on what we call a bigger and better railway industry. So in the wider discourse, what are we doing to promote the needs of our members? What are we doing to bring members together so they can meet and lobby policymakers and influencers? We did a lot of work on that. We had a very good survey towards the end of last year, an independent survey by Comres, that showed that our recognition amongst the parliamentary, Parliament was over 92%. So 90% of MPs had heard of no RIA, which is a good progress compared to where we were, say, 3 or 4 years ago. And then finally, I focused very strongly on a high-performing team. We spent a lot of time on training, a lot of time on away days and individual affecting team performance and individual improvement. And hopefully that pays off with the team. They feel they're getting a better way of working at RIA, but we as a team benefit from being high performing for our members. So those 3 things are probably the main issues. And hopefully it's not just my leadership, but the leadership of the team is being felt amongst the membership too.